The Saudi Economic Offset Program started in the mid-1980s. And basically, it started with a major program that Ministry of Defense was implementing at that time, which is called Peace Shield Program. The government at that time looked around and basically was looking at the diversification of the economy and basically how can we bring advanced technologies into the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And they found that many other nations do leverage their major programs that they do implement in terms of basically attracting technologies, creating jobs, and basically creating investment opportunities to diversify the economy. And therefore, the program was initiated. The program was initiated in the mid-80s, as I mentioned earlier, basically with the objective of creating job opportunities for Saudis, creating investment opportunities for local investors and international investors in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, and looking at transferring technology to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia so that basically we bring support closer to the major products and systems that are being implemented in the kingdom. All that clearly contributes to the bigger objective, which is the diversification of the economy, from an economy that is totally dependent on oil to an economy that is basically diversified in terms of its sources of revenues. So Advanced Electronics Company, AEC, was one of those companies created under the auspices of the Saudi Economic Offset Program. Our strategy when we started the company was basically based on differentiation. Differentiating in terms of basically making sure that we target the areas that have not been tapped before. One of them being basically to be focused totally on Saudis in terms of creating the capabilities in the kingdom. At that time, many of the industries, if not all, in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, with the exception of some of the semi-government organizations, was basically totally dependent on foreign laborers in terms of the work that they do. In AEC, we basically had an integral part of our strategy, which is basically developing Saudis and creating in-country capabilities through Saudi nationals. And that was clearly a major differentiating factor. The other area that we focused on is to make sure that basically as we transfer technology, quality is not compromised. And therefore, if you make things in Saudi Arabia, we had systems in place, quality assurance systems in place, to make sure that basically whatever we do in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia is no less, if not better, than what is done in the Western Hemisphere, where the technologies are coming from. So we focused on the area of quality. The third area on which we focused on significantly is basically to make sure that we focus on critical technologies that are important and make difference to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And hence, our startup was totally focused on defense electronics, as you may know. And subsequently, we started diversifying our capabilities from totally defense and security related technologies to a telecommunication industry, where basically we started creating significant capabilities as it relates to telecommunication and subsequently IT, and therefore we had full capabilities in the ICT area. Then we moved into a third area, which is industrial capabilities, and mainly we focused on that area, on power and energy. Today, AEC has its own products as it relates to the third area, which is already fielded and is in use.